Hey, Mark again here, WeatherMan Plus. Good morning to you. Good afternoon. It is Sunday, April 18th, so I hope you all go out there and have a great day today. God bless every single one of you. I do show not only do we have some situations with some rain and thunderstorms coming into Florida, but also that sulfur dioxide is coming this way, and I do have an update on y'all levels, guys. I also have an update on your cold air anomaly that is coming in with that cold Arctic air. And I have an update on that second Arctic blast as well. And that's actually good news for the Southeast. So if you've never been here before, hello. My name is Mark. I do upload every single day except Friday afternoons until Saturday afternoons. That's when I do my Sabbath. Of course, unless there's life at risk, I will upload anyway. Now, the two videos that I have to show you today, on the left, the top one is GFS, the bottom one is the Euro, and that is your 2-meter temperatures from the ground to let you know what the temperature is going to be when this cold air does come into our country. Now, early this morning, this is your first view. You can see early this morning we do have some storms going through the southeast, and then these over here on the left will eventually come across as well, and this will drag down slowly for the next few days down Florida. Now, it is bringing a lot of precipitation with it, and this actually, other than thunderstorms, because there's no tornado watch, but other than thunderstorms and heavy precipitation, possible flooding, this actually could pose a threat to southern Florida and the Bahamas and other people as well with this sulfur dioxide in the air. So let me get to the information I have for you guys. If you've never been here, hit that subscribe button, and if you have been here, you know how it goes. Hit that like for me, guys. I do appreciate it. Now, you can see as we go through our few days, this is from National Weather Service. Not only do we have storms and thunderstorms in these green areas, but Florida is at a marginal risk for some severe thunderstorms. But you do have thunderstorms passing through today, plus the other green areas for tomorrow. You also have thunderstorms passing through as well in Florida. And you have the thunderstorms rumbling through the southeast, and it's really going to affect Florida. Now, here's what our sulfur dioxide trail has grown into. It's going all across to the east. It's stretching all the way to the west. It's really expanding out. At the same time, that's thinning out the potencies, which is a good thing. But at the same time, we still have these problems. Now, as this moment for this morning, Venezuela is at 176 milligrams per cubic meter. And I'm going to explain to you what that is. But you can see, like everybody else, Puerto Rico is at 37. Dominican Republic is starting to get some high numbers. And so is Cuba. Now, this also will go over Georgetown, Jamaica, the Bahamas, and southern Florida. And this low pressure system did play out like it was showing. And it does move to the southeast, which does spin all this away from the Gulf of Mexico, from it going into our country and then getting all over the place from our jet stream. But it will affect a lot of people as it's getting veered away from us. But you can see the surface low pressure, it does continue to move, and it does pop up over the mid-Atlantic, and it does go to the southeast. And that makes all this curve, because this is going counterclockwise, so it's going to curve it out, maybe spin it up a little more, but I don't see it being a big problem coming back into our country. Now, all day long today, it's going to be passing by and putting high amounts for Jamaica, and I'll explain that to you in a minute. And remember, if you've never been here before, the links are in the description for whatever you came to see. But as you go through Sunday evening into Monday, then it's going to start going into Cuba. The heaviest and most potent part will leave Jamaica at that part. You're still getting 50 parts within this light area. I'll explain that again. But all this heaviness does go around you, and it goes into Georgetown with over 100. Then it starts going towards Bahamas, Cuba, and eventually it goes into southern Florida as well. And it stays around for a few days before it finally leaves out. And that's a real potent section going through northern Bahamas. But let me explain to you exactly what these levels are going to be doing. Now, as we go through our area, you're already at 70, 80, almost 90 parts per cubic meter. For Jamaica, I will show you what that is. Dominican Republic, you're getting high amounts, and then it's going to go into Cuba as well throughout our day. But your highest part of the day, it looks like the most potent part does stay over the water for you, and you're already in 90 all across all of Jamaica. And then as you go through the evening, it'll start lessening by later tonight into the morning, but it's still good high amounts. And then as you go in for Monday, then it's really going to affect Cuba with a lot of sections of 100. And I want you to remember that 100. Then as you go through Monday evening, another heavy part comes in towards Jamaica. You get towards where you're in the 90s and you're almost into 100, but by Tuesday morning, you will be in certain sections of 100. Now, I'll explain to you in a minute what these levels mean and what the dangerous of them is. But you can see all of Jamaica at this point by Tuesday morning, almost all of it is at least 100 in every town, except for the Northeast. They kind of stay into the 80s and 90s, which is still bad. All day today, Florida, you're anywhere from 1, 2, even up to 5 parts per million for a cubic meter of the sulfur dioxide that'll be passing through. And I will, again, explain what all that means. But as you go through your night, then it starts moving in from lower Bahamas, southern Florida, and into the overnight by 12. Then you start getting unsafe levels, because you start getting 9, which is unsafe, as a matter of fact, for people that has asthma and they have troubles breathing as it is. But now you're getting 20 and 30 parts per million per cubic meter of sulfur dioxide in your atmosphere, while the Bahamas is now getting 70 and 50 and just some high numbers. Then you have rain for the next few days. I want you to remember that as well. And as you go through your day tomorrow, it'll start lessening up and squeeze back down, and it's really a southern Florida problem. And no matter what, Miami stays in the heaviness for quite some time. But as you go into Tuesday, it starts pushing in with some stronger levels. Now you're getting into the 70s, while the Bahamas are in the 50s. And these are some dangerous levels for sure. And I will go through that. Then as you go through Tuesday, it gets a little bit further up into Florida with some 40s and 50s. Even the 27 is bad. Even 60 and 70, southern Florida, you got 70s in the Bahamas, 80s on southern Bahamas. Then as you go through Tuesday, it starts leaving the area, but it's still high amounts for southern Florida. You're still all the way from 35 to 70 on these levels, and these are very high, especially for Bahamas as well. But it starts thinning out on Wednesday. Now, Wednesday, the level starts changing and going away from Florida, but it's still in the Bahamas with 70s and 80s. And you have 2 and 3 parts per million per cubic meter right here in Florida, but you still have 30s and 60s, and Key Largo is all in thickness of it for quite some time. And we're talking days ahead. This is by Wednesday. So here's a shot of it starting today, stretching through the Caribbean, going to the Bahamas, going to Cuba, going to Florida. Then it's going to stretch out even further on Tuesday, and then as you get into your Wednesday as well, then it'll start thinning out. Until then, we got some very crazy levels, and I need to explain to you what this means. Now, by 3 p.m. this afternoon, you're really going to have a thickness coming into Jamaica, and you're going to be in 70s and 80s in all of your towns around. So it is going to be this level. And I want to use this as a reference point. And remember, Florida got anywhere from 23 to the high 60s and low 70s as parts per million per cubic meter. And if you check it out, you'll see that this is actually 87 milligrams per cubic meter. So I had to educate myself on this weekend, just to kind of so I can explain this to y'all and find out for myself whether this was dangerous. So when I bring out my converter, I check sulfur dioxide. I check sulfur dioxide as my molecular weight to calculate. I'm going to express the units in milligrams per cubic meter. And when I come over here and I put in, let's say 70 milligrams per cubic meter, that actually gives me 24.8 parts per million. And 100 actually gives you 35.5 parts per million. So I checked out and see how dangerous these parts per million is when I converted them down to see what are health effects of respiratory exposure to sulfur dioxide and what it can cause for us. Now, 1 to 5 parts per million is a threshold for respiratory response in healthy individuals upon exercise or deep breathing. You will feel the difference. That's 1 to 5. Remember, you had 2s and you had 5s, up to 5s, mostly 2s and 3s in certain parts of Florida. And then when you get to 3 to 5, the highest point of that, the gas is easily noticeable. They fall in lung function at rest and increased airway resistance. So you got to be careful of being outside for a period of time for anywhere from 4 hours to 8 hours, because it has dramatic changes on your body. Now, when you go up to the 5 parts at the very top of that, 5 parts per million, it increased airway resistance in healthy individuals. So even the healthy individuals are starting to have a problem to breathe at that point. And that's only at 5. And a lot of these were 23s, 25s, even 35s. Now, once you go past 5, then it starts getting dangerous. At 6, you get immediate irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat. Now, this is at an exposure rate of 4 to 8 hours outside in this atmosphere. Just so you know, it's not just going outside, checking the mail, coming back in. This is what's going to happen to you. This is either outside working or exercising or exhausting your body, or just being outside breathing for 4 to 8 hours in this atmosphere. Now, this is where the numbers get a little scary. Once you get all the way to 10 parts per million, which is anywhere from a half to a third of what y'all going to be dealing with. It's worsening irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat. Now, 10 to 15 is actually the threshold for the toxic for prolonged exposure. Anything past 10 to 15, then you're talking serious consequences. And we had 23 to 35 parts in a lot of places. And once you get to 48 hours and this gets exposed on you this long, 20 plus can cause paralysis or death occurs after extended exposure. Now, all this sulfur dioxide was coming from all the volcanoes, especially in the islands, that was getting in there and erupted for days and days and come. Matter of fact, we all across the world, we have 45 volcanoes with continuing eruptions. But you can see here that they're all still continuing. All 45 volcanoes and still continuing. So as this plume of sulfur dioxide comes across, bends across Cuba, goes across Jamaica, goes into Florida, goes into the Bahamas for the next couple of days to 3 days. This is today, and you see that you have some storms that will be passing by tonight into the morning all across Florida. Now, this is a lot of rain. This is going to be a good bit of precipitation. It's not going to be dangerous as far as a tornado or severe weather that could be doing some serious wind damage or anything. The rain is actually the danger. The rain is going to come across Florida for days to come. Now we're getting into Tuesday. It's still raining across Florida and the northern Bahamas. Now you're getting into Wednesday and you still got storms coming. So you got to remember that. And you do have a good heavy accumulation within a 5-day period. This is your rain amounts that you could receive as far as accumulation. And you see Miami gets almost a half an inch, but everybody else, the pink is an inch and the red is anywhere from 2 to 3 inches. Plus for the Bahamas, they're going to get over an inch as well. But they get a lot of precipitation in Florida as this passes by. Now I'll show the strongest point. It will be there sooner, but the strongest point for Florida as far as this sulfur dioxide in the air happens is Wednesday by 6 a.m. And you can see that the Bahamas, northern Bahamas, are in 78, while southern Florida is in 79, 70, 50, even 30 up here. Now that's not what your levels are. Remember I showed you 70 actually gives you 23 parts per million. And the 100 gives you 35. But 23 parts per million is very dangerous. As it moves through Wednesday, it slowly gets lower and lower by Wednesday night. And a little bit safer now in the 2 and 3 parts. But once you get down here, this is all just too strong. This will be for a few days. And there will be a lot of moisture in the air. Your dew points are actually at 21, 22 Celsius. These are 70 degrees Fahrenheit dew points coming in. So that's a lot of moisture filling up in your atmosphere. As well as the Bahamas, the whole area is just strong with dew points. Now, I had to really check out and see what was going on with this. Is that sulfur dioxide dissolves easily in water, and it also will form sulfuric acid at that point. And sulfuric acid is a major component of acid rain. So whether you're going to get acid rain now in Florida or Bahamas because of sulfur dioxide, I still need to study that a little bit more. I don't want to put you in a scare of that. But what you got to remember that's really scary about acid rain can also create tiny particles. Now these tiny particles can get into people's lungs. They can cause health problems. They can make existing health problems even worse. This ground level ozone causes respiratory problems. And we all knew that from the other day when I told you it's mainly a respiratory problem with this. But it can give you symptoms like pneumonia, bronchitis, and even cause permanent lung damage. It all depends how long you're outside, how long you're exposed to it. Are you exhausting your body while you're outside in that, like working or working out, or any of them excessive features? Plus our pollen count, if you go to pollen.com, you can see this at any time. It's really starting to fill up the country now with a bunch of orange and a bunch of red. And the orange is medium high and the red is high for pollen count. So I'm going to go through this real quick so y'all can see exactly what's going on with the pollen count in your area. The orange is medium to high and the red is high, just so you know, because you're going to see a lot of orange and you're going to see a lot of red on this pollen count. This is a lot of pollen. This is going to make a lot of people in really bad feeling conditions. So if you take Zyrtec or any of that stuff, please take it early. As you know, it does take a minute for it to get into your body. but there is a lot of high pollen counts all across the country. Red, I'm starting to see more red now than anything. And look at it, wherever there's not red, there's orange. So there's very high levels of pollen. And I did check on our potential velocity anomaly, which shows you how strong a low pressure system that could come into our country could actually be of danger. And you do see these other low pressure systems coming from the Pacific, and we do have the one in the Northeast that is finishing up and leaving. But this is our anomaly we have, and it has extended down even longer. It was from the 27th to the 29th, but now it has grouped up and it's stretching all the way well into May. So whatever storm this is that's coming around the 26th or 27th of this month, it has a very strong velocity potential with it. It would be a very strong low millibar pressure, and it will stay a while. Just off the top of my head, that to me that looks like we have a low pressure system coming in. It's getting strong. And the only reason I can see why it would stay a while is maybe getting blocked by a high pressure, keeping it down there, keeping it strong, and just spinning. Now, according to the Euro model, on the 26th, which is a Monday, we do have a low pressure system that will be for the Northeast. It will be a 986 millibar, and it will start to strengthen a little bit. And that's a pretty strong storm. I expected to see the 70s for what's on the potential velocity anomaly, but 986 is strong as well. Now, according to the GFS, at the same time, it shows it a little further off into the Northeast because there is a high ridge at that point. But at the same time, it could bring snow to the Northeast, according to the GFS. And on the next day, on the 27th, they had a 979 millibar that could be in the Midwest, according to the GFS. But once again, guys, this is the 26th and the 27th and possibly the 28th, all the way into the beginning of May. And that's a little too far to be accurate. I don't think it's going to pop up just yet. However, it is showing in the ensembles that a 970 to 980 millibar pressure is roaming around the eastern side of the U.S. Now, please help me alert these people. I'm moving on now to the Arctic air. If you know someone or you think someone needs to see this information about the sulfur dioxide and the possible breathing problems, do me a favor. Please share this on social media. Please like that video if you don't use social media. Help get the word out about this because I don't see anybody else talking about this, which surprises me. And the Euro model is picking up on the AO coming in. It is showing that by the 22nd will be starting to do a good dip, and its worst dip will be somewhere around the 25th, which also I'm showing will be the southwest as it goes towards a neutral phase. So it won't drag into the southeast. After it comes in the southwest, it's going to go back up to the central U.S. and start leaving. And then the AO from the GFS shows that they will come in from the 20th to the 22nd will be a good dip towards the neutral. Then it'll start going real negative around the 24th, 25th, all the way to the 27th. Then it'll start going back up towards a neutral phase to a positive phase. And there could be another dip once again in the beginning of May. It's still too far, but it's something to remember. Now, this is your 500 millibar height of what you can see from this Arctic air that is coming in. That's this air here. And this is on the 20th. This is Tuesday. Before that, it bobbles around a bit, but this is when it really starts to stretch out on the Tuesday and comes in. As you go into Tuesday into Wednesday morning, then it starts going to the south and southeast. That's really when you have the temperatures that's going to be affecting the south with temperatures of freezing. Then it will move from Thursday, the 22nd, over to Friday into the northeast. And that's when you'll actually get some cold temperatures as well. Now, after Thursday and Friday comes along, this actually will spin around for a bit. And you'll see how this one comes in. It does a little loop effect. But if you look over here, right around the 26th, 27th, 28th, that's when it shows this deepest point of the Arctic oscillation. You see how it comes in from the southwest. And it actually brings the colder air in on with it. But if you look, you do see that there is a high ridge with it. It is coming all the way up to the northeast, so this will get pulled up and not dragged across. But for Tuesday, this is what it looks like as the Arctic air starts to come into our country. This is an 850 millibar. And your temperatures will be quite freezing at this point. Matter of fact, up in Wyoming, it's anywhere from negative 14 degrees to, that's the higher elevations, to 22 degrees on the ground. So it will be quite freezing at this point come Tuesday for most of the Midwest and the mountains. And it's going to put everybody else in the 40s pretty much. And with the wind chills, now it's really going to feel like single digit temperatures. And up in the higher elevations of Wyoming really is where you see the worst of it. It's going to feel like negative 21 degrees. That's cold. But now with the wind chills, you're really going to feel the temperatures in northern Texas as well. And that's where it was pretty good on the freezing temperatures. So with the wind chills, by Tuesday, northern Texas, you're going to feel like you're in teen temperatures. That's going to be cold. Now for Wednesday, the 21st, this is when it really affects the deep south pretty much the most. Now, I don't show you have a whole bunch to worry about, but there will be some freezing temperatures. There will be quite some wind chill. But if you're lower in Mississippi, you'll still be in the 40s. You should be okay. This is 850 millibars. This is all your freezing temperatures for the 21st, which is Wednesday. And you can see everybody in this. And the temperatures on the ground has northern Texas in the 20s. A lot of people in the 20s and teens for the mountains in the Midwest. Even Ohio Valley is in the 20s. And now northern Mississippi is somewhere around 39, 38 degrees. It's not really too bad. And the wind chill is going to really be a little more dramatic than the temperatures. You can see Texas, it makes it feel freezing all the way down Texas until you get to the lower half. So it's pretty cold, with making you feel still, once again, Tuesday and Wednesday, like you're in the 20s to the teen temperatures for northern Texas. It will be feeling very cold. Everybody in the Midwest is going to feel like you're in teen temperatures, as well as the whole Ohio Valley. Now that's the wind chills from the Canadian model. The wind chills from the GFS shows it's going to be a little bit worse as far as the wind chills. The Canadian model shows that it's going to be more freezing temperatures that can reach down, but not really bad wind chills compared to GFS. GFS shows that your wind chills could be very well into the 20s and 30s all across Texas, northern Louisiana, the whole South, from central to northern Mississippi. It's going to feel like freezing, especially northern Alabama as well. It's going to feel like you're in the 20s. So the GFS shows that it's going to be a worse wind chill that's going to come with this. But the worst day I can find for the South will be Wednesday on the 21st. Texas, it'll actually be Tuesday and Wednesday, but as far as stretching across the South, it'll be Wednesday as far as it can get. Now this is a Canadian model, so I can show you comparison. This is actual temperatures on the ground. Your 20-degree temperatures, well below freezing, all the way into the center of Texas. And this is going to stretch all across Arkansas and then come up towards northern Mississippi and parts of Alabama. You can see that low high 30s that you will be having, but not freezing. And with the wind chill, it's going to feel like it's in the teens to the 20s. Even lower Texas is going to feel like you're getting in the 30s now. And you're going to feel like you're in the 30s for northern Mississippi as well, and parts of Alabama. So it will be a cold air swoop. And the GFS wind chill, which actually shows the worst, will be in the 20s, feeling like temperatures for the South and Mississippi as well. It's just going to feel like it's going to be 20-degree temperatures everywhere. As well as the Ohio Valley, the Midwest, the mountains. Everybody in this general area is going to feel with these wind chills teen to 20-degree temperatures. It's going to be very cold. And this is what that looks like on 850 millibar level. So you can see how this cold air just swooped on through. And it gets about northern Texas, northern Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas. Y'all get into the high 30s still once again. But as it goes to the northeast, it's not affecting all of northeast. It's pretty much going to be intercoastal, just like I showed the other day. It's pretty much going to be intercoastal temperatures, 20s and 30s, especially freezing for y'all. But I'm still showing that it won't freeze Delaware, it won't freeze New Jersey or Long Island. You will be close to it. Even southeast Maryland won't freeze. It'll be intercoastal freezing going on because it's going to loop up. But after this, it does a little twirling effect to where it could finally put you in freezing temperatures. And with the wind chill for that Thursday, it's still bringing people in 20s and 30s for Texas. The lower half of Deep South feels like you're in the 30s again. This is once again. And then you feel like you're in the teen temperatures for the whole Midwest, 20s for the Ohio Valley, and teens to 20s for the Northeast. So once again, just so you're not getting freezing temperatures with the wind chill, like New Jersey, Long Island, Delaware, portions of Maryland, you will still feel freezing with the wind chill. It'll feel like you're in the 20s. While the people that did get freezing temperatures are going to feel like they're in the teen temperatures now. And the Ohio Valley is going to feel like the 20s and teens as well, but northern Ohio is going to be a little cold spot of what wind chills coming through. You could be feeling like you're in the single digits. But you can see the South, the wind chills is just really going to make y'all feel still miserable once again on Thursday. But once again, I want to remind you that according to the GFS, After this cold air comes in, the coldest is going to be around the 27th or 28th. Then it's going to start leaving. But there is another possibility in May once again. So around the 25th, this is what I showed you in the beginning. You have this other anomaly because it's not going to be in our states. You have this other anomaly coming in for the 25th and the 26th. And as it goes into the 27th, which is our deepest for the AO, you see this is not going to be it. This is our deepest. So it's not going to be in the south or the southeast. And as this goes, it's going to go towards that high tilt. It's still too far. This is at your 10 days already. But it will be in a positive phase, and it will be on a high ridge at that point, and it will start going up because you're going towards a neutral to a positive phase on your NAO. But here's the Canadian model on the 28th. It's still, guys, it's 10 days away. Take this with a grain of salt, please. This will change. This is not accurate, as we all know. But here's your cold air anomaly swinging in once again from the southwest. And you can see the high ridging that's going to be taking place. And mostly it's because we have a high pressure spinning right here, and it's just going to spin all that up. And it won't hit the southeast. And here's a shot from a Euro as well, showing that by the 28th, you will have this cold air anomaly that will be swinging in from the southwest. All right, so I'm going to play this. This is your NAM3K. This will show you the next 60 hours, and you will see some snowfall that will start to come. The major part of the snowfall won't come till the 20th or more, so I will update you on that when that becomes more accurate. Do me a favor, guys. Like the video if you enjoyed this video forecast. Please share this with others. Alert them to not only this cold weather that we've been talking about, but for this sulfur dioxide. That's a real scary thing, and it could be a problem for a lot of people. I do know for a fact that a lot of people do go to Florida to retire. So this could be a serious respiratory problem for a lot of people. So God bless you all today. I hope you have a great day today. As you're looking at the weather, I want to read to you today. It is your beloved Sunday, so God bless you. 2 Timothy chapter 3. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. For of this sort are they which creep into houses, and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with divers lust, ever learning, and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds, reprobate concerning the faith, but they shall proceed no further. For their folly shall be manifest unto all men, as theirs also was. But thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, charity, patience, persecutions, afflictions, which came unto me at Antioch, at Iconium, at Lystra, what persecutions I endured. But out of them all the Lord delivered me. Yea, and all that will live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Christ Jesus. All scripture is given by inspiration of God, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. Amen. God bless you today. I hope you all have a very great day. I know you're going to be seeing a lot of videos about this major snowstorm coming. Be rest assured that these numbers and impacts will change. That's why I was waiting for it to get a little bit closer. It's still a little too far away to be exact. Models are showing major on some models, not so major on others. I think what's coming as far as this Arctic air and this sulfur dioxide problem in the atmosphere is a little more concerning to the immediate. Hope you have a very blessed day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming to my channel today. All glory does go to God, God of Jacob. Amen. Have a blessed day.